Can you take us through how you got the news, what that night was like for you?
Man, it was quick. It was before our game in Worcester yesterday. I was throwing outside, and my pitching coach came and wanted to talk to me. Asked me about like if I was wearing my catapult and stuff, and I was like, he asked me to talk when we got inside, and then he said, I thought we were talking about pitch tipping because I guess I was tipping my pitches last game, and so I thought that's what he wanted to talk about. And then he took me into the office, and Casey was waiting there and told me I got the call up, and it was surprising for sure. I thought he was kidding, but I don't think he would kid about something like that.
Your last couple of years have been a bit of a grind, and it's been a long road back for you. What's this feel like on a personal level for you to have achieved this?
I mean, it's big. I mean, not only for me, but for everybody that sacrificed anything for me growing up and get me to games, my family, my parents. So it's big for all of us as a family and friends.
What was the most difficult part for you the last 2 years? Everyone talks about it when they have to go through that, the loneliness, the solitary part of it. What was the most difficult part for you?
Yeah, I mean, that's one of them. That's a big deal when you have to sit in one place for a while and kind of get your bearings and make sure your health is in check first, and then you also have to watch everybody else succeed and do their thing and feel good for them as well. But also it could be frustrating too. But luckily we made it out of that, and we're in a good spot now.
Right at the beginning of spring training, you felt like you were in a good spot and having the flare up,
Yep.
and the grind through. Like, what was working through that period like, and like what did you have to kind of get through to be here today?
Yeah, I mean, like I said before, it's pretty frustrating, especially when you feel good at a certain point and then things start to fall apart a little bit. But I mean, just keeping your head down and keeping on working and all the resources we have with the Blue Jays, everybody helping out and making sure you get you back healthy. And it's a team effort, it really is. But it's the end goal. It's big for everybody involved. So it was good for me.
What were some of the things that you felt maybe sort of at that time, and was it different than previous bumps in the road?
I would give it like some similar feelings to previous injuries. Just having to sit out and having to take a step back it's frustrating, like I said. But after you get through it, you come out better for it, and you come out a better teammate, better player, and have better relationships for it.
You were well along in your recovery at the time, but watching the World Series last year, what was that like for you? Was that sort of a carrot that, hey, you're going to be a part of this eventually one day? Or
yeah, I mean, absolutely. It's hard not to think about how you can help the team in situations like that. But it was exciting seeing players that I came up in the org playing in that World Series, and guys breaking records, and just how fun of a World Series it was to watch. It was special for me. Even players that I was in rehab with, we were sitting at home watching it, just excited for everybody, and it was a really fun time.
Ricky, in your mind, is your stuff back to where it was before the TJ?
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah, everything's back dialed in. Had to make a few changes just to get things back to where they're supposed to be, but I would say they're in a good spot right now.
What style of a reliever are you going to be?
I mean, no matter what, I feel like I'm the same pitcher, just going at guys and seeing if they can hit my stuff first, and then working from there. And obviously throwing strikes is the biggest thing, so not walking anybody, that's pretty much the name of the game for any pitcher. So.
What has this transition to more like the one inning every couple of days been like for you? What's been the biggest challenge for that?
Yeah, I mean, it's been exciting. It's definitely something to get used to when you're in the pen and you don't know when you're going. You don't have any kind of a warm up or ramp up. You kind of have to get up and go really quickly. It's definitely something to get used to, but it's pretty exciting. I had an interview before where we talked about it's kind of like bringing it back to when you're in travel ball and your coach comes out and you're playing center field and he's coming to take you to go pitch in the middle of the game. So it kind of has that same feeling for it.
Who have you asked about routines and how to develop a routine to get through some of those challenges?
Yeah, I mean, everybody from staff to former players that aren't with us anymore, guys that are in rehab. I mean, anybody I'm surrounded myself with, I kind of look at what they're doing, especially if they're in the same boat as me, what they're doing on a daily basis, even outside the field, to kind of get their mind off things, any frustrations they have when they're at the facility working on things. But I mean, I learned so much from everybody that was around me during the rehab process.
Have you ever been here for a game?
Not for a game, no. I was here for a camp last year right after I got TJ. It was a fun experience, but never for a packed house. So.
How different is your mindset coming out of the pen?
Yeah, I mean, you like to keep it simple no matter what position you're put in, but from starter to reliever, it's a little more of a simple game where you gotta have to figure out who's up next, rather than an entire lineup figuring out how to make it 3 times through or 2 times through. as a reliever, it's kind of like who's up in front of you right now, and how can you get them out and get out of the inning as fast as possible.
Ricky, who were some of the big leaguers on rehab that helped you out when you were down there?
Guys like Bowden Francis. Who else? I mean, there were so many guys that have been through there. Shane Bieber, he was there for a good amount of time. Cody Ponce is there as well when I was at the PDC. So those guys, just having those guys to lean on and learn from, it was big for me coming out of rehab.
As far as your path has gone, like a couple of years ago, everyone was talking about you're on the verge of being in the big leagues. It's hard to avoid thinking that when you're you. Now that you're finally here, does it sort of feel like, okay, I can handle this because I've been prepared for this moment for so long?
Yeah, I mean, you're preparing for your whole development in minor league ball. For me, I don't know if it's something where it hasn't settled in for me yet because it's been so quick, or you know, I feel like I'm used to it already, just being surrounded by players that are up with the big league squad in general. So I mean, it's a good feeling, but it's not something that it's kind of overwhelming for me right now yet, at least.
What's been going right in your kind of between outing recoveries and the last couple weeks?
Yeah, I mean, a lot, just kind of figuring out what works over multiple outings and what can stay and what you don't really need. You can get to a point where you're doing too much and you don't want to get there, because then it makes coming in every day kind of a hassle. Like right when you get in, you have a checklist of things you have to cross out. But when you can simplify that and make each and every day a little bit easier on yourself and on your team, and even on the trainers that have to work on you before games. So it's something that I learned. I've taken a lot of things on and off my checklist, as I said, but we're in a good spot now.
Fastball, slider, changeup.
Yeah. Yep.
How are those? The slider, the changeup. Which one is kind of more comfortable for you? How do you typically like to use those two?
Yeah, I mean, my slider's always been really comfortable for me, but I'd say as of recent, my changeup's been coming along. I've been able to flip over the top of it, and make sure it's getting around the zone more often. So I'd say they're both in a good spot.
Ricky, you mentioned the packed houses here earlier on. Have you allowed yourself to think what that's going to be like to get out there and perform?
No, man. Like I said, I don't think it's even settled in yet. I don't even have any real feelings. I'm kind of trying to take it all in and trying to say hi to everybody, make sure everybody's comfortable, and even with my family, just make sure everybody gets out here. You know, just everything hasn't settled in yet, but I'm sure it will once the light turns on.
Do you have an idea, even though you're a reliever, like given the day and the opener, do you have an idea when they might use you?
I don't have any idea when they're going to call down. I'm assuming it's going to be mid-game. Hopefully, I mean, it could be later in the game, but I got to make sure I'm ready for it whenever it is.